like iTunes one night, you flick through and you pick a movie, and I came across this documentary called Women Aren't Funny, and I was like, oh fucking, here we go. Bring it on, Apple, right? So I watched it, and it was this female comedian. She's in the States, and she was exploring like how hard it is for women over there, and it's a boys' club, blah, blah, blah. Married to this male comedian who was an absolute dickhead and got way too much screen time. Anyway, I thought, like, the point of this is, right, like, she'll prove that women are funny, surely, right? Surely there's a 3/4 mark, we'll all live happily ever after. Fucking no, right? She just did a gig as a man, right, just as a man, put a beard on and everything, and then completely bombed, and then cried afterwards like a girl, right? What the fuck is this? And then at the very end, like, the happy ending is that she gets a headlining spot, and it's like this big happy thing, like, oh great, a chick got a headlining spot in the US, but she only got it because her dickhead husband rang the guy and begged him to give it to her. It was the most depressing thing I'd ever watched. So Joseph can suck it, right? Because we are hilarious and we're proving it. They should just film this. Fuck you guys. Fuck you, Apple.
I find people who are super comfortable with nudity a little bit off-putting. I'm looking at you, topless dancing girl, at every music festival ever. But I come from a family of free spirits, where my mum and brother decide it's okay to skinny dip together. Never have I been more aware of my own prudishness and aversion to incest than having my mum pointed out with her massive tits.
I was born and raised in Japan, and I was brought up quite traditionally in Japan, and I used to walk 3 steps behind a man so that in case of a danger in front of me, I can simply push him to protect myself.
It's great to be here. How are we feeling about Christmas? It's almost upon us, isn't it? I know some people really love Christmas. Some people are a bit ambivalent about it. Some people are like me. You just spend the whole time walking around thinking if only Mary had swallowed, right? Although, you know, if the story's true, she didn't really have the option. She was asleep at the time. I understand how that happened 4 times with me. Anyway, but, you know, I find the Christmas thing a bit overwhelming. Not so much Christmas Day. The Barry family, you know, a lot of people have traditions around Christmas, decorating the tree, cooking particular things, whatever. In the Barry family, we like to drink until we're really nasty and then tear each other to shreds. We have been doing it for a couple of 100 years now, and we're really fucking good at it, and everybody knows their place. Children, and everyone's involved. It's great. But the thing that really makes me nervous about Christmas is I live in a very small home with my 4 children, 3 of whom are boys, who are now on holidays. And you know what that means? They are now bored young men with far too much time and often way too much lube on their hands, right? And I am trying to live in that environment, constantly surrounded by young men who are just shaking what their mum has given them all day long. It's quite disturbing, particularly with my middle son. He's really keen on the whole thing. His nickname for his genitals is actually PlayStation Portable. And, you know, any time I'm about to head into his bedroom, I have to don a wetsuit and goggles just in case he's about to clock the game again. So, you know, and I'm tired of it, and I've tried all sorts of things to remedy the situation, but this year I have decided if you can't beat them, not in that way, join them, right? Join them. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to fucking spend my annual leave going at myself, which, you know.
But I'm not the typical uni student. I have a shameful secret to admit. I still live at home and I love it. Call me a prima donna all you want, but I don't want to move out to some dilapidated, asbestos-ridden North Melbourne share house with anywhere between 5 and 30 people living there, where one day I'll be half-heartedly peer-pressured into a drug-induced orgy with all sexes participating. That's just not the way I want to live. That is the generation I'm trying to run from. I like my blankets made out of wool rather than old copies of The Big Issue. Maybe that's just me.
Miss Nobetsu, are you sure you want to apply for this position? So said, yes, I'm Australian. This is an audition for puppetry of the penis. I'm a little bit short-handed, but then I can do the sock puppet. And I can use origami.
But you do need to know, all of you, that I don't have a neat little map of Tasmania in this region of my body. Nor anywhere else. That'd be freaky.
Children are assholes, and let me tell you why children are assholes. Because they come up to you and they go, I want a balloon! You're going, yes, how do you say please? And they're like, what would you like? Little girls go, I want pink! Give me pink! I want everything pink! I want to swim in pink! I want to imbibe the pink! Everything shall be pink!
Now I can speak English quite well, and I can say something like, hey mate, what the fuck you think you're doing, mate? You're cutting the queue, mate. Now go back to the end of the line, bitch. To an old person from China.
I'm at a weird point with my parents at the moment, right? Like it's only taken 23 years, but shit's gotten a bit bizarre with us. But like I came out to my parents like a year and a half ago, and I'm not going to go into my big lame coming out story, guys, don't worry, because I don't have one. I just turned to my mum one day and I was like, hey, I'm into girls now. And she's like, oh yeah, I know, I just saw you wrestle your brother and you won. It's that.